Tonight on DFY Magic Themes, we'll be talking about getting your business right. Well, very good evening to you, good afternoon, good morning, upside down, left and right, wherever you may be around the world. Always good to have you part of DFY Magic Themes. Busy week as always, lots to talk about. First in the room tonight was Mark B, followed by Richard, followed by Colin, followed by Stefan, followed by Bradley, and we know everyone else will pop in as we keep on going. Lots to talk about, and an exciting week it's been, and some special updates for Inner Circle members only when we switch to the Inner Circle. We'll get going in a moment. Hello. You all right, Robert?
Happy Friday. Wasn't yesterday Friday? Man, it feels like yesterday was Friday.
It's a weird week because in the UK it's a bank holiday, so basically I think it's Friday and Monday. A lot of things shut down, and everyone puts their feet up. We don't shut down. We've lucky to get 5 minutes to put my feet up, to be really honest, but it's what it is.
No, it's been busy, but we made some great progress this week on our projects, and which is awesome because you guys, when you get to see all that stuff come out, you're gonna get blown away by the results you can produce over and over again with simplicity. Does it take time to set up? Yes, but once you have Thor's hammer is what I call it, you can rank just about anything. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're talking about your business, and I want to start this off, Stephen, if you don't mind.
You carry on. I'm going to put my feet up for 5 minutes because I'm knackered.
The things that happen, right? When you get involved with anything, and we've been doing some recordings for reviews of the accountability program, which has been awesome to support. And the things that people say, it makes you feel good when you know that they're getting success out of what they're doing. And that's what's important. And when you see people's sites ranking at the top of page 1 for their search terms in a matter of a couple of weeks, that's exciting. That's exciting for the person building that site as well as for us, because everything we do is laid out for a reason. And we say it a lot, right? You don't know what you don't know. And it sounds like an oxymoron, but that's the truth. When you're getting into something that you've never done before, you don't know what are the things holding you back. You don't know the questions to ask to get you to move forward because you're still not understanding the process. You're still not understanding the whole concept of everything. But with us, what you have to do is take that leap of faith. And we say that a lot because people get into our programs, just follow the program, just watch it for what it is. And then once you start doing, and that was one of the aha moments for me today, was talking about the accountability program and talking about the process of doing a step. and then physically doing the step on your website, and then doing the next step. And they love the short, sweet video segments because if they forgot what they did, they can go back and find that section. They don't have to listen to an hour or an hour and a half webinar presentation that was the training that you got 15 minutes of actual content out of it. The accountability program is no fluff. It's all about getting you to do the steps. It's not telling you about all of them and never getting to do them. It's actually pushing you to do them. That's what it's for. But making that progress of the you don't know what to ask, right? And that comes back around to technology. And technology changes daily. But I mean, almost by the second that you can't keep up with all of the third-party platforms that are changing, all of the different requirements are changing, all the even for me, like I was trying to just log into Messenger and all of a sudden I got to put in a freaking code, right? And I'm like, where did this come from? I never had that before, but it's security. It's all the things that are happening on the earth all at one time, especially the internet. So we're always trying to keep up with these things that are going on. And we're trying to be that buffer for you as well as support you. We said it from day one, support is the biggest issue. Support is important to us in what we do. Now, the other statement I want to make, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? And that's a verbal communication. So the meaning can be in the emphasis of the words that you're pronouncing to somebody, right? So if you're talking in a video, you can kind of get the gist of what they're saying. If you're having a physical conversation with somebody on the phone, you can get a better description of what is trying to be said. The same words in text, the same words in an email can be taken differently, right? Because the emphasis is not there of the voice. So people can write support tickets and they either get frustrated or they're mad or whether they're taking it out on a support desk that's only trying to do their job. And those are the things that Stephen and I take serious. And we also will not let it happen that people are going to get um, accused of doing things. They're only trying to do their job. And that's all they're going to continue to do. Steve and I tell them do something, then that's what they have to do. If you don't have the information that they're asking, they're requesting, they can't do their job. It comes back to I can't look at a website if I don't have a username and password, right? And we say that a lot because it happens a lot. But these are the things that when you go forward in your business and you want to relay a message and you have the opportunity to speak to a potential client on a Zoom call or in person, that's going to far outweigh your ability to sending them a text message that they can get an emphasis one way that may be wrong in rather than right in what you're trying to say. So it comes back to it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But in a text message, they're only reading it for the content. They're not getting the emphasis of what you're trying to mean or say. And you can't rebut right away. They're going to think about just what you said in the text or what you wrote, I should say. So read your text before you send it. Autocorrects can be brutal. So read it before you hit the send button, and think about the person that you're sending to, because this is your business, right? You don't want it to come up with an autocorrect with swear words and da 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 about all the things that you didn't want it to be, because that's what's going to kind of happen to you, right? Next, let's put a one in the chat. Anybody in the call here, when it comes to talking to a client or trying to get your way about something, do you think coming in hard and strong versus soft and polite What's the better answer for you to get what you think you're trying to get out of the situation? Put a one in the chat if you think hard and strong is going to get it every time versus being polite and being kind to the people that are in front of you, so to speak, handling your information.
The two is be kind. One is be as hard as a nut. This is great. This is while they're putting numbers in, Barry says you have to respect all of your business dealings. And Bradley says, Robert spot on. I'm not a fan of SMS for business. Too many issues come up. Do you know something, Robert? This happens as well in personal life. I sent a text message to a friend of mine, right? And he phoned me up, but really in an angry way, going, "What do you mean?" You know, and I said, "Well, hang on, you've taken it in the wrong way." And I just politely said, "I meant this." Oh, sorry. So a text message can come over, or or messenger message come over in the wrong way. I mainly use Messenger for business, Facebook and Messenger for business, and then my personal life. What I do is I use on my phone. I've got a little button you can press and talk to people. So if I want it to be a bit more personal, even in business, actually, you hit the button, you go, "Hi, Steve here. Just to let you know, we're working on your website. Don't panic." And it comes over just a little bit more calmer than sometimes you can put things in the wrong way. Um, so in the numbers we've got Bradley with a 2, Barry with a 2. Richard said depends on the I can't even say that tonight. I'm that tired. Um, Stefan says always respectful. Mottleby says bloody autocorrect. I love it. So most people are in agreement with you, Robert.
No, and the way it comes across, right, is always you want to speak to people the way that you want to be spoken
Mm,
to. And sometimes in sales, especially in sales, the aggressive salesman pushes people away just by being too aggressive, right?
yeah.
Everything has become review based, everything has become service based. And we are all aware of this, which you just happened to find a golden nugget this week, Stephen, which you can talk about in a few minutes or whatever. But
You have to remind me the golden nugget what it was, but maybe
the
save it for
the
the inner circle.
no, the reputation AI, the thing
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
that every business out there needs, and they know they need it, and it's not it doesn't have the negative connotation because they already know they need it. Now tell me how I can get more. I'm guilty of it, right? I don't like to ask for reviews. I don't like to ask for anything. I want to give 9 times out of 10, right? So for me to ask somebody to give me a review, that's a pain point for me because I don't like to ask. However, if I have a QR code and I have a card or and I have a this, you can just go here and give us a review. And it has to be just like client onboarding, even though sometimes it's not comfortable. We all know client onboarding is the most important part of our business. Building websites will never make you money, right? It's having the clients pay for those websites that's making you money or the services you're providing to them. So give them what they want. Give them something that's, in 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it was all the PDF rage, right? You give them a PDF and you get their email address and the money's in the list. Money's still in the list, guys. But the reality is nobody wants a PDF anymore. Nobody wants to read anything. They want a video. If they want a video, guess what? They want a QR code. They want a QR code that is going to say, go here and give my company a review. And they want to be able to pass those out by the thousands, right? So you design that for them and you give them that QR code because that technology, they don't understand it. But they know the phone will work the QR code and it'll get right to leave the right correct message, the review for the business. That's not only a want, that's a need I must have. And you give that as a gift. That's my thought. That's a know, like, and trust. I'm in the door. Now I can give them any services that I want to offer beyond that. That's just my opinion. Because it's it's proven time and time again, we know we need it, but we don't always take the time to ask. We don't want to take this time to send the email after the guy just paid me and loved the job I did, but I don't take the time to send the email to get the review, right?
Yeah.
But your rankings, your Google Business Profile, your rankings are dependent on how many reviews you have. This is one of those things that you come across and you have to be able to deal with it. But I'm getting away from the topic, which is if you don't know what to ask, you can't ask it. That's going to stall you in your progress forward. That's why we do what we do. If you're going to come across to get help in an unkind manner, no matter what you're doing in your business, that stigmatism of that conversation or that text could stop people from becoming your clients, right? Because for some reason you said something that offended them or they didn't like, they're going to be more shy than ever. If you come across kind and giving them something that they need, in this case, so we're talking about the QR codes, you're in, right? It's always different. And I didn't even talk to Stephen about it, but we were talking about the accountability program and we were looking at the sales page and I was opening it back up, right? And I was saying that I think instead of just doing a registration, they do a registration for a Zoom call. And we talked to them before we even offered them the program. Because if they don't fit what we're doing, I don't want them in the program. I don't want to spend my time with somebody I don't want to be around, right? I want people that really want what we're doing to be in those programs because we're giving everything we can. And that being said, people, you're never going to please everyone, no matter how you try. If you want to have a meeting at a particular time in the day, you're never going to meet everybody's requirements for the time that you want to have it. Somebody is not going to like the time. And you have to go with whatever you can to have the majority of people like the time that you're giving to do what you can do. So you'll never please everybody. It's just a fact of life. And not every personality is going to get along. And it's truly obvious between Stephen and myself, we're two different personalities. I get along with some people better than Stephen does, and vice versa.
Yeah,
Stephen gets
Robert
along
can't
with
stand me.
Stephen gets along with everybody, right?
I try to.
And I'm old and set in my ways. And I you know what I get? I get, in all transparency, I get defensive of Stephen. Because when I see people starting to take advantage of him, I want to protect him from those kind of people. Because that's what he tends to do is over deliver and people take advantage of that. Sorry.
It does
Anyways,
happen. It does happen, Robert. But the thing is, it's how you manage it. Um, when your hands are tied in business and you can't do anything more for a person, I find it very frustrating. Sometimes in business, I've had customers. I had a customer last year who paid 3 grand for a website. That's what he could afford. We built him a website. He went great, signed off, then came back and went, I want to redesign, but it's going to cost you more money. I haven't got it. So out of kindness from my heart, I did a redesign, right? And it buggered up all his SEO and did all sorts of messing around. And in the end, I turned around to him. I said, "Look, you've messed things up. I'm not trying to be rude. I can't. I haven't got the time to micromanage you, and we have to part company. I'm sorry. He didn't like it, but he was taking up too much of my time for the money he paid. And he went, "Well, my money back." And I went, "Well, you've agreed, and and I had terms and conditions in place to cover myself and a written agreement, that he had to sign before I started to work. And it literally, I said, well, you signed this. I'm going to take you to court. That's fine. Well, you signed this, right? And the bottom line is we can terminate any time if we feel the relationship's not working. I'm sorry you're not happy. There's nothing more I can do. Now, I hated that because I wanted to bend over backwards. But the truth of the matter was, by the time I paid my devs to build the site and everything else, right? And then he wanted more doing to it. I came out of about $200 and it just wasn't worth my time anymore. And he wasn't prepared to spend any more money. So, it's what it is. So, but I did want to talk about this tonight, actually, Robert, which was what you said. We promoted this in our group. We pumped out the demo video for those. So I know Laurie and Prab and a few others have messaged me about it and seen it. And so, well, just before I show this, actually, I mentioned terms and conditions, and we were going to talk about that, weren't we, Robert?
We're going to talk about the inner circle.
Cool. Okay, excellent. As long as I know when we're doing it. Let me just share my screen a minute, and I'll show you this. So this is AI Reputors, if that's the correct way of pronouncing it. There's still, I'll be honest with you, there's a couple of bugs in it that I'm not happy with, and I'm in contact with Abby and Ben who run this. Their support whilst their support team take a while to get back to you because they're overseas, I think they might be India or somewhere like that. I'm very lucky to have more of a direct contact with Abby and Ben, and when I've had issues with any of their softwares, they've looked after us. So I trust them to release good quality products. So in here, I'm just going to do this as an example, right? We're going to type in here handyman, and I'm going to put Wellington, and we've got, I'll type in a bit more. UK, I've got Wellington in the UK or Florida. We're going to do Florida where Robert is, and we're going to do a search. Oh, it took out the word handyman. Hate it when it does that. Let's do that again. And my internet's going to throw wobbly now, isn't it? Let's give it a moment or two. I'm going to have to refresh. Let's try that again. Right. Always when I hate doing things live because they always go wrong. It was working while Robert was talking, so hopefully it should work now. Here we go. So it's done the search, and we've got all their GMB information. We can visit their GMB listing. So we can open this in a new tab and go and view it. We can see if they've claimed their listing by having a look on here to see if they've, normally it'll say unclaimed or own this business somewhere on here, which it doesn't. So, but the idea behind this now is I can come in and manage my leads. And here's the Handyman Florida one. And I can look down here very quickly, like this first one, they haven't got a website address. So either they don't have a website, right, number one, or number two, they do have a website, but they haven't updated their GMB. So there's a sale straight away that I can do. I can look at their review numbers, 11 reviews. I can look at all other different bits of information they've got, well, that's the email address, then website. So here, look, this one here, they haven't got an email address on their site, and they haven't got any information hardly. They do have a phone number, so I could phone them if I was in Florida and go, "Hey, we manage your GMBs, and I'd like to have a word with you about how important it is to keep it up to date." We can go and view their GMB. Let's see if it's been claimed at all. It looks like it's been claimed, so they own it. So straight away, I can come to them and offer them services using this, selling GMB services. Now, what I do, other features in it, and I'll be honest, I haven't got into all of this properly, but they have AI email. and we can generate an AI email. So we do Handyman Florida. Just bear with me, I'm just going to mute my phone that keeps pinging. And we can select a lead, and we can see if they haven't got an email, but we can come down again. They have, right? What type of service do you want to sell? Let's put website upgrade as an example. By the way, you do not connect ChatGPT up yourself to this. It's all included. And now, right, dear client's name, so it puts the client's name in automatically. Hope you find this email well. I want to reach out to you today to discuss an exciting opportunity for your business. Recently, I noticed that your website could benefit from an upgrade in terms of search engine optimization, blah, blah, blah. You read through it, all the information, right? And it'll, but you come, once you've entered in the details in the background, my understanding is that it should add your company name automatically and contact info, right? And then you hit save, and then you can send it out accordingly. Let's hit save a minute. And like I said, I'm still playing around with this at the moment, but we can preview it. We can edit it and then schedule it to go out. So the nice thing about this, and I'm going to go through their training more and more and get my head around some of their details. So is one of the services you can offer. Post. You can, once you are managing their GMB, you can post to their GMBs on their behalf and schedule them up. The great thing about this is you give them their own login and they connect the GMB to the system. So you do not need to be a manager of the GMB. They connect it up from their client profile. Now, there is an elephant in the room, and I'm always honest with people. I set this up, and I created 2 listings under the review section, and I then went into a client account I set up, and it was showing both of them. And but what I love about Abby is I messaged him. He said, I haven't had a chance to do it yet today. He said, send me a video and I'll fix it. So they'll get that resolved. But I love the fact I don't have to faff around going to them and say, make me a manager of your listing. So now I can manage it. It adds it in here, and you can then do your posts to those listings from here directly. Integration, this is what the customer would see. You can add all these different integrations in here straight away. The customer can add their GMB listing, SMT. I think there's more features, because I'm in the admin account, there's more features in here than others. And I'm getting my head around it myself just to understand a lot of this. But I've played around with the basics of it, and it's so far looking very robust and very good. It just needs little tweaks to make it a bit more friendly when it comes to your customers. But if you use this just to find the actual reviews, the leads, then straight away you've got that. You've got your website widgets. You can create them a widget inside the system. This is what was showing up in all the accounts of the widgets, which they're going to get resolved. Coming to edit a widget, you can have the full screen one, floating bar, side, box, and you come in here, and would you recommend us? You can set up Angie's review button, Zillow, Foursquare, Trustpilot, Shopify, Facebook reviews, Yelp. And so when people visit their website, a box will pop up and it'll say, would you recommend us? If it's a returning customer to your website, and that comes up and you go, yes, I would. They then have an option to work their way down 2 or 3 or 4 different sites to leave reviews. There's also a system in here to remind customers about leaving reviews. There's so much in here that I haven't had time to go over it all, and I only got it just the other day. And the best thing of all, have I got the website still open? We've been sharing out a link. If you go to dfymagicthemes.com/AIR, air, all in lowercase, it stands for AI Reputers, and you can get their bundle deal at the moment for $317. One time, by the way. So it means you've got you don't pay for AI credits at all with it. And they give you 100 client accounts, so you can connect 100 client accounts up. There is an upgrade. I can't remember how much is off the top of my head, where you can add unlimited clients if you want to. If you, it comes down to how many people you want in your, giving access to. But to be honest, a lot of you wouldn't be hitting over 100 clients anyway. And when one leaves, you just remove them out your system and give it to somebody else. So, but there, with the upgrades, there are other extra bonuses they give you. We upgraded just some of the bonuses, but Ben, I know, and Abby, and I know one or two people. There was a comment, and I don't mind being honest. One of our members put a comment up saying he had a bad experience with Abby. Anyone who has a bad experience with Abby can reach out to me. I'm in contact with him. Their support team can be a little bit slow at times, or not. You don't get the best response. But Abby believes in reputation like I do. And whenever I've had a problem, I've gone to him. He sorted it, and the way I work with people, if he ever lets me down, I'll never sell anything of his again. I'll never recommend him. I'll put honest reviews up online, and he knows that with me. I told him that from day one, plain and simple. So,
well, at the end of the day, the simplicity of all of that, right?
Yeah,
it's client onboarding. It's another version of client onboarding, right? Using something that these people know they need but don't know how to do. And that is to protect their reputation. But not only that, they just need to gain reviews. They know the game. We've all been taught by Amazon. We've all been taught by the review system. If I'm interested in something, I want to go buy it. Before I buy it, I'm going to go check the reviews. If the reviews say it's okay, then I buy it. We're just programmed to do that now. The same thing with services, the same thing with any business. You look at their reviews, and if they're under a 3.5, you're starting to doubt and you're starting to look further down the page. So if you have, and you know what the numbers are, right? The businesses that understand reviews, if they start getting negative reviews, they make sure that they have a system in place that they're going to get more positive reviews than they're getting negative reviews by tenfold, because that keeps them in the 4 and the 4.5 star status, right? So if they're a shaky business and they're just not doing it right, or something's going wrong on their sales force, and they start, look, it's a fact. People start getting negative reviews to a business online, they're out of business in a short amount of time if they don't correct their reputation. Are you responsible for correcting their reputation? No, you're responsible for teaching them how to maintain and make their reputation better online, how to answer those negative things, how to make sure that every new client gets asked for review. So it's a repetitive cycle of getting the things done. These tools, these postings, the reputation alone is a business in a box. But the way I see it, it's an add-on feature to get you clients for all the other services that you want to provide, and get that on passive, the passive income you want on the services that are easy to supply, right? So going forward, do you have to have, no, you don't have to have this. You can do this all manual. We've been teaching this for a long time. However, there's parts in this, the AI, there's parts in this of doing the auto posting. You can go do that manually, but now you have to manage the GMB. The one thing I said to Stephen when I was listening to the webinar, the one part that just stood the hair up on the back of my neck was when your dashboard is all connected to the GMB and they stop paying you, you can disconnect all your work. So you can go to the next client. Anybody else out there, you did all that work to get their GMB all set up, and they decide they don't want to pay you anymore, or don't want to pay you at all. They walk away with all your work and you have nothing. This has a way to undo everything that you did if they don't want to pay you for your services. And I think that's what you got to have.
I like the fact that you can have that at a glance at you can glance at their GMBs very quickly, and there's thousands of companies out there that you can different niches. I mean, think in your local area, right? If you look for plumbers, electricians, and handymen on their own, you'll get so many leads coming in that you can reach out and offer a service. And we've talked about this. It's the like trust factor, right? And once you offer a small service for a low monthly fee to somebody, right, and they start paying you that money, then you can up them. You can go look at their website and say, hey, you need an update on your website. If it's a big task, outsource it to somebody. We've got devs who can do rebuild websites in Cadence. They can smarten them up. They can make them look all polished. If you haven't got time to do it yourself, you just ask us, and we've got somebody who can do it. And we don't mark up on it. So if you're an inner circle member. If you're not, then we put a higher price. But inner circle members get it at what it costs, what we get charged ourselves, including fees.
So at the end of the day, let me just say this: if you don't have the money, you don't buy it, right? You can still do this manually.
Yeah.
And don't take away from feeding your family because you can't afford the money to get in on this, right? There's other ways around to do this, maybe more manual. But on the other side of this, the first person that should be your first client for this is yourself. You should have this entire system set up for your own agency business immediately. Have the QR codes, have the automated the automated posts ready if you have your Google Business Profile. If you don't have it, then you wait till you get it. But you can start getting all of this in place, understand the system, and use it for client onboarding, client outreach. Okay. That's to me is the no-brainer system. In some places, just think about this honestly. When you get 10 emails saying that somebody wants to give you SEO services, what's your first thought? It's like, God, I'm so tired of people asking me if I want SEO. And the next thing is, how about website design? You need a new website. You get tired of these constant questions. You like your website that you built or you did or you have. How many of you get daily that you're going to get help with getting reviews for your reputation marketing, or you're going to get help with handling your reputation online? For me, that opens my eyes, because if you don't think that your reputation online is important, then you got another thing coming, and you have to be ready. We're going to talk about this in the inner circle when we get in there. More things about reputation and how to handle things, but you'll never have 100% everybody love you. It's just not going to be part of the world. However, you have to be smart enough to know what you're going to do in your business. The recipes of success are being ready for whatever's going to come your way.
And Bradley's saying he is paying for Saint Simon $99 a month. I remember a year and a half ago, and I can't remember what the people were called. And it was really it was a reputation management system with all the training, and I did it for a month. It was very expensive to be with them, and they were always selling the dream inside, but never proving they could deliver. With this, I love the fact that they include the AI credits in there. There's a lot of things included inside of the whole system, and the fact that I can go in now. I'm really crap at doing emails to people, right? And I was going into ChatGPT trying to get to help me. This thing here is literally, what service do you want to provide? They've done the prompt inside the system, and you hit a button, it writes the email, you read through it and go, I'm happy, and then send it. It's crazy if you think about how much, what's it, $20 a month for ChatGPT alone, right? So you're looking at $240 a year for that. And this does so much more. I like as well. At a glance, I can go and see all those GMBs and go, well, they haven't got a website on a GMB. I'm going to reach out to them and say, you really need to update your GMB, and for $99, I can do it for you. That's a foot in the door for me.
Yeah,
a
you can
cheap
offer them
price.
every different service, whether they have a website, they
Yeah.
don't have a website. You can offer
Mm.
them posts, you can offer them, other things for their GMB. But most important, you make that list. You are doing an outreach program of people local in your area, and that thing took seconds to generate that, right? So this is just another way of I look at it as onboarding, another way of a simplified approach of giving somebody what they really want. And then you're in them, giving them the right services, and you bring them into everything else.
To answer your question, Mark says, what are safeguards? If we get, say, 50 clients on this system and it goes belly up, um, is it so linked to our clients that we would have problems? No. Um, there's a client area that clients can log into, and I'll tell you now, clients do not bother logging into their client area. All you'd use that for is to have access to their GMB. Now, what you can do is do a little video saying, guys, make me a manager of your GMB. This is how you do it, right? And they log into their GMB, they click a couple of buttons, then you're a manager, which is the other way round, right? Because once you're a manager of the GMB, then you can add that GMB yourself to the system to manage it for them, right? So if the system, I know Abby, and I've got his product. I've got a product that's 5 years old that's still working today. In fact, it stopped working a year and a half ago, and I messaged him and said, I bought this from you. I was expecting you to support it better. Your support team aren't coming back to me, and this isn't working. He messaged me back and went, so sorry, Steve. Leave it with me. I'll get it sorted. A week later, it was all back up and running. He said to me, his words were, we all get busy in what we're offering. I'm something I missed. No one had reported it, which probably means that everyone has stopped using it apart from me. Right. So he had it fixed for just one person, which can't be cost effective, but he did it anyway. So I know he's good, and if it stopped working, well, guess what? Right, this is how I would use it. I'd have the attitude. It has to be running for at least a year, right? So in that time, get a client up, right? Send out tons of emails because this is what I would be doing. I'll be the emails through the system. So you send all the as many emails out as possible, and then wait for that response to come back in, offer them the service to look after their GMB. Right? It's a numbers game. If you had 50 people, right, that you could email out tomorrow, and they came back and went, yeah, I want you to sort my GMB out for me. I'll pay the $99. You've then got them as a customer, right? And once you've got them as that customer, you can then offer them other services on top, which you don't necessarily need to use this system for. It's really get customers as quickly as you possibly can. Click, click, click. Offer them just one service. Update your GMB. Because once they know you and you've done the good work for them and they paid for it, and always get them to pay up front. Send them to a payment link. That's why we recommend Gumroad. Send them to Gumroad. Get them to pay. Gumroad take 10%, right? $99. We'll sort all your GMB out for you and optimize it. You optimize it. You then offer them a further service, right? And we'll be talking about this in a minute on the inner circle because we've overrun on the free groups. There's a further service that I'm going to talk to you about on the inner circle. And the cool thing about that further service is then you can boost their GMBs. So it's really good.
True story. I'm going to say this real quick and we're going to switch over to inner circle.
Yeah.
True story. My son's friend, he helped him set up his GMB. He helped him create his website for a food truck, right? The guy needed reviews. He wasn't doing that well. So he needs some reviews. So my son created a QR code and put it on a card that he put in the window of the truck, right? So people are ordering, right? They scan the code and they can leave a review. The day that they put the card up in the window, now there was a circumstance that kind of created this for one of the reviews. Was a father and his son just happened to be on their bicycles. It was a hot day. They were parched. They just wanted to buy a bottle of water. They didn't really sell water. They sold food, right? So the owner of the truck just handed him 2 bottles of water. Said, no problem. Don't worry about it. The guy clicked the picture, left the review. Was it worth it for the 2 bottles of water. Absolutely. Did he have to do the water? No, he didn't have to, but he got 3 reviews that day just because he put the QR code in the window. It's a convenience factor. And he's not sitting in the truck saying, please leave a review. Please leave a review. I need a review. Please, did I do this? Did I do? No, they read the card when they're coming up to look at the menu. This is how simplistic it is, right? So when people get good service or they get a good warm, fuzzy feeling about whatever is being provided, and they have that in front of them, the convenience of snapping a QR code and then going right to the place they're going to leave the review, that's what this is. That's a gold mine. But it has to work for you and you have to use it. That's the thing. So
I just want to quickly show this because you mentioned the QR code thing. So I've just come in and created a QR code for DFY Magic Themes, right? And it has a background AI. Look at this AI image, right? Let's see what it creates with website design. And you have to play. Obviously, you have to play around with this a bit, right? This is included, by the way, this AI image generator.
So it's creating the QR code, it's creating the image, it's creating either a flyer
Yeah.
or a business card, a digital business card.
So the previous step, I entered in my business name, DFY Magic Themes, and I entered in the URL, right? So now I can go, yeah, use that. It's put it up here. I can move my QR code to wherever I want it, like that. I can add text overlay on it as well. Add a heading. We can click in here. Give me a review. We can change the text color to white so we can see it. And I can move the text to where I want it. So you can play around with this. And then when you're done, you download it. And let me just open it up. And boom, there's your file you can send the customer. Guess what, Mr. Customer, print this off and stick it in your car window. Stick it, create some little business cards through one of the business card creators, and stick them on your restaurant cabinet or your food truck.
Give them the opportunity to have 100, 500, or 1,000 cards that for every order they put out, they put that in the order. It goes out with the food. It goes out with the whatever they're shipping, right? That's the power of this. And with that 2 seconds that he took to create that, people barely understand what a QR code is. You're giving them in a design for their business, right? If that doesn't pull you into the door, I don't know what will. But that's how I see it.
Yeah. And the other thing is as well, when you've connected up your account, this is review box, right? And so what you do, you connect your Google My Business profile, Zillow, Bing, WordPress, etc. And all of these will put in the reviews into one inbox for all your customers. So guess what? When you're managing all your customers and they get a bad review, you can respond on that customer's behalf. How much do you think that'll be worth if you were charging a customer each month to look after their reviews? You come in here and there's a bad review, you go, sorry to realize you've had a bad review. Please can we reach out to you and talk about your issue and look after you? Then you go back to your client and say, give them a call and sort it out, right? Once you've sorted it out and it's all fixed, right? Then you go back to them and go, would you mind changing your review to a positive one, please, since we looked after you?
Richard Brown is spot on. He's saying 250 to 500 a month, right? And 500 a month is depending on what the business is and what they do, those reviews can make thousands, tens of thousands difference.
So think about this, Richard. You buy this, right? And you've set up your customers in the system and you're charging $500 a month, right? One customer in your first month will pay for this software. So you're in profit, you know? If you charge $250, then yes, it'll be a couple of customers up front. But you reach out to them and offer them, be brave. I think that pricing's spot on. You know, and like I said, get them for the door, give them a cheap deal. Say, even at $49, I'll sort out your GMB. Takes you 5 minutes to go in and update all the information, add their website URL, add anything. If they haven't got a website URL, sell them a website. Guess what? You guys are in the business for rank and rent, right? Mr. Plumber hasn't got a website. Right, I'm going to bung a domain name up. It cost me $10 for the year. Straight away, bung a domain name up, chuck a site on it. But this time, I'm going to put his details on it, his phone number. It's easy, right? With our themes, you can very quickly fill in the boxes. So you put all his details in, go to him and go, hey, I see you haven't got a website. Here's one, $250 a month or $500 a month. Oh, that's brilliant. And you can incorporate all of these products all into one place.
The addition of the QR code, it does not have to go to a review site. The QR code can be a link to anything, right? So you can link back to your own agency site and say, hey, do you need an electrician site? Here's the demo. And you can link it in that code and show them how it works. There's so many endless possibilities. But Mark, you're correct. It's about client acquisition, and it's a simplistic way of getting clients. But it's going to be something that you're going to use.
You're spot on, Mark. Basically, inside of Google Business Profiles, they're doing away with the websites that were included with them. So now there's a service to offer them a website, right? You can offer them a G site, set up a G site if you want. But I'd build them a proper website and go, here you go, here's a website. We mentioned this a few weeks ago. Bradley, now because you're not in the inner circle, if you're watching the replay, inside Zoom, Bradley shared something that's really good, and I'm going to talk about it on the inner circle because I think we should purely keep that for inner circle members. Don't you think, Robert?
Yep.
So if you are thinking of looking at AI reputers, go to dfymagicthemes.com/air, AIR. It's all lowercase. I made it easy. That's our affiliate link, and we appreciate if you buy through that. That supports us, and we invest anything in affiliate marketing back into the DFY Magic Themes business to support you guys, and that's what we like to do.
We're going to incorporate this into our client acquisition modules as well. The way
we're going to.
It just makes things so simple.
We're going to do some. All our training is step-by-step training. Now, we've got some big news when we go to the inner circle for inner circle members. They're going to love it when we finish that part of the training and the accountability program. Then I'm going to move straight onto this because this is exciting. I want to get something in ASAP. But there's me and Robert working away on this, and only so many hours in the day, which we'll talk about on the inner circle. I'm going to hit the button. Say goodbye to all the free channels, Robert.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting us in all that we do. We appreciate all the efforts that everybody puts into social media for us and talking to people. It's our pleasure to support you guys. And like I said before, we can't please everybody all the time. We're doing our best, but we're always being transparent in what we do. And the people that really want to go forward with what we do know how to reach us and keep working at it. You'll get there. It just takes time. And
Richard Brown, he sent, I'm sure he won't mind me reading this. This is a direct message he sent me. He says he's just got AI Reputers, has 3 customers for it already lined up. Boom.
Nice.
So awesome. Right. Goodbye, free groups. If you want to know what we're talking about on the inner circle, go to dfymagicthemes.com/live for you, and we'll see you next week. By the way, if you're in the UK next week, it's the hour later because the clocks change on Sunday. So we're back to the normal times, 4:30 p.m. EST, 9:30 p.m. UK for the live for you.